By the summer of 1945, World War II was over in Europe, but not in Asia. Germany had surrendered. Yet the war against Japan continued with full intensity. Allied planners were already preparing for what they believed would be the final and bloodiest phase of the conflict. The Allied invasion of Japan was called Operation Downfall. It was not a single battle, but a two-stage operation designed to force unconditional surrender. If executed, it would have been the largest amphibious invasion in human history, exceeding even D-Day in scale. Operation Downfall was built around staggering numbers. Allied planners prepared to deploy more than 5 million soldiers. Over 40 aircraft carriers, dozens of battleships, and thousands of landing ships were assigned. More than 20,000 aircraft were allocated to support the invasion. The first phase, Operation Olympic, was scheduled for November 1945. Its objective was the southern Japanese island of Kyushu. American planners expected massive resistance and projected extremely high casualties during the initial landings alone. The second phase, Operation Coronet, was planned for early 1946. It targeted the Kanto Plain near Tokyo, the political and industrial heart of Japan. This phase would involve even more troops and was expected to be longer, slower, and far more destructive. Casualty estimates varied, but even conservative projections expected hundreds of thousands of Allied casualties. Some internal estimates reached 1 million wounded or killed. Japanese losses were expected to be far higher, including large-scale civilian casualties. By mid-1945, Japan had mobilized more than 3 million troops within the home islands. Aircraft were converted into kamikaze weapons. Coastal defenses were reinforced. Civilians, including women and children, were trained to resist invasion using improvised weapons. Japanese strategy was not based on victory. It was based on cost. The objective was to make invasion so catastrophic that political will in the United States might collapse. The defense of Japan was designed to be slow, brutal, and total. Across the Pacific, Allied forces waited. Entire armies were staged. Ships were loaded. Aircraft were positioned. Weapons were stockpiled. The largest invasion force ever assembled stood ready, but did not move. In August 1945, the strategic equation changed. Atomic weapons were used against Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Soviet Union entered the war against Japan. The conditions that justified Operation Downfall no longer existed. On August 15, 1945, Japan announced its surrender. Operation Downfall was never executed. Millions of soldiers never landed. Thousands of ships never crossed invasion beaches. The largest force in history never fought. The largest force that never fought reveals a different extreme of war. Power does not always translate into action. Sometimes, the most consequential military operation is defined not by what happens, but by what never does. At this extreme, absence becomes decisive.